Alright guys, you're cooking with Dunn's today. I'm going to show you guys how to cook a brisket. Oh yeah, that's right. That's one of the hardest meats to cook. That's right. A brisket is, once you can smoke not to cook, but to smoke. Once you can smoke a brisket, you a bad man with jam on the grill. So we got our brisket right here. The most important thing with the brisket is the trim, the preparation. Okay, now you can season it any kind of way you want to. Two things that's important is that it's the trim and it's the time and temperature on the grill. All right, what's up, guys? Yeah, it's Pimp C in the house. That's right. It's one of our other pit masters around here. It's a family affair. So you want to get your nice little knife to fillet this because we're gonna trim this joker. Okay, we're gonna get this rascal all together. So you're gonna get your knife nice and sharpened. Grab my tools. Got Dunn's barbecue and catering. So I'm gonna get this bad boy nice and sharp. Get it nice, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna start trimming some of this fat off of it. A brisket is it's a big old piece of meat. Let's see if I can get it right there. We go. That if it's cooked right, it will be really nice. So they call this end the train. You can see that from the side of it, from where that point is, you'll notice it'll have a point to it. That's the point right there. You got your fat cap on the back, right? So you want to start at that corner of that train. You see it? So I'm starting that. Give it a nice little slice. I don't think my knife is sharp enough. It's good. Make sure it takes a real sharp knife to get that bad boy together. So we're going to start at this train right here. I always like to, as soon as I get that first cut in, I want to lift it up and just follow it. Follow it. Follow it all the way down. Just going to start trimming off so you make sure you have a place to pull my trash can over and start getting this fat off of it. If it ever, when it falls off on you, it's no problem. Just start with a nice little incision. Lift it, and you're going to trim it, okay? We're going to trim that bad boy all the way down. I tell you what, man, brisket, if it's cooked right, you want it to be tender and smoky and just flavorful. And once you get it like that, man, I tell you what, can a lot of people do this, and if you can master this skill, I tell you what, you'll make a lot of new friends. I tell you, the power of food. Food is so powerful. Man, I'm telling you what, I got speeding tickets, a lot of stuff. But you see how I'm trimming this rascal up, right? And while I'm trimming it, if you trim it good, you'll get that full coat off of it. But you don't want to trim it all the way down to the meat. You want to make sure that you leave a little fat on there, okay? Because that fat's what's going to protect it. So once you get that train off, just move on down to the side, make a nice little incision, lift, and then trim, okay? This is so important. When I first started cooking brisket from Uncle Buddy, he kind of got me into doing it. I didn't trim my brisket. I was like, man, this is just fatty, and who wants to eat a bunch of fat? And then I talked to a buddy of mine. He's like, man, you got to trim that brisket. You got to get it prepped. So your briskets don't come trimmed because they want to save the weight on it. Ain't that right, Aunt Sharon? Got to have Aunt Sharon too. So keep you in line all the time. Aunt Sharon definitely keeps me in line. Ain't that right, baby? She makes the best barbecue sauce in the state of Kentucky. I've been begging her to bottle her sauce. If you want some good homemade barbecue sauce, come on down to Dunn's Barbecue and Catering in Harrisburg. Say hi, Sharon.
Just a little extra.
Ooh, got a little extra today. What about that? Whoa, man. Tip me. Oh, bless your heart. Man, it ain't much, but it's enough, right? That's good enough. A little extra always helps. Thank you, Aunt Sharon. I always say thank you when somebody gives you a little extra. Hey, it beats a blank. It beats a blank. That's what my mama always say.
I was just trying. I think you said what y'all got that.
Right, with you on camera. We can't talk too much business. What's going on today, right now, right? We video this for Facebook, for YouTube. So we got our brisket trimmed. Okay, you see that? See how we kind of taking that fat off of it? Every brisket is different. All right. I kind of start from the top. You got to be a master flayer. You got to make sure you kind of get some of that fat off of it. You don't want to have too much fat on it because what's going to happen with this brisket as it cooks, look so big, it's gonna come in together. So if you just got like that much fat on it, or that much fat, once you cook it, it's gonna have that much fat on it, right? And you're gonna be like, the seasoning is never gonna hit the meat. You're never gonna be able to taste the flavor of it. So once you hit that train part, right, you're gonna come over on the other side. See if I can get this. All right, you see it? And then we're just gonna cut just a little bit off of it. We're just gonna cut that corner out. That's it. Now by cutting this out, it's gonna allow this meat to expand and contrast so that it'll cook right and be tender. If not, your fat is gonna be just terrible. So after I do that, what I do is I come in, I clean the little gooey, stewy out of there. You're gonna get that little yucky out of it. That ain't good for you. Get as much of that out as you can. So you're slicing it down. The trim is the preparation is the most important part. So after I do that, I know there's still fat in there, right? I may cut a little piece of it out, just a small little piece. But you want to keep some of that fat on there because it's gonna give you some flavor. You take your knife and just make some incisions through it so that it'll break up during cooking. Now, the next thing you're going to do is, where your point was, flip it over. You're going to have this corner right here. You see that corner? So what I do is I start on the outside of that, and I make like a diagonal, because that's what that is. It's going to be like a triangle. So I make a diagonal. I cut through it. We just won't get that out of there. He's a bad guy. I tell you that. He is a bad guy. We don't want that guy in there at all, because that's going to mess up the whole way your brisket's going to cook. So just trim him out. See how we're just trimming him out? You see that? Just trimming him out. All right, leave a little bit in there, that's fine. And then we got another little piece of it. Usually I start from the top. Get that joker out of there, buddy. That joker is a bad guy. We don't want him in there. Got a little bit fat on the end. Let's get him out there too. All right, you see that? So now we got a perfectly trimmed brisket. We've done the train. Came down it, got it nice. And so now you see he's trimmed good. He's got a little bit of fat still on the top. We want to keep that. We hit that corner, and then we got this bad guy out of here. Another little trick. Go down, just make a little small incision across that side. Because it's still got a membrane in it, and when it cooks, you don't want it to pull your brisket in. Alright, so now the brisket is trimmed. Can we see this? Alright. Kind of working. I'm new to this, guys, with the Facebook thing, so I can go up a level. There we go. So now we got the brisket trimmed. So now it's time to season the brisket. All right, this is bad boy's gonna be ready, Jack. I tell you. So what I do is I use liquid smoke, because you want to get a smoke flavor, and you don't know if your wood's gonna give it the full smoke flavor. Worcestershire and soy sauce, right? And I promise you, once this bad boy is done, I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, because I'm going to have this done. I will have this brisket done before the end of this video. You're going to be like, how did he do that? I'm going to show you how I do it. So then I take my smoke. I get a 5.5 ounce cup. Liquid smoke. Now everything's different upon size of brisket. I pour that smoke on that bad boy. Yeah, baby. Then I go to my soy sauce. Everything is procedure. And I've been doing this the same way for a long time. I promise you. I got some stuff hanging on the wall in there to let you know they just don't give easy way to people. And I got my Worcestershire. So this is going to be my marinade. This is going to help keep my brisket cooking through the whole night. Because a brisket of this size is going to take 12 to 14 hours. Every bit of it. I like to keep it around 200 to 220. You could flirt around with 220. It just depends on the size of your brisket, but don't let it get too over, because once it starts cooking so over, then you're gonna be in trouble. So after I put my marinade on it, I kind of just lift her up, so that I can get down underneath it and start soaking in. Okay, I do that first. That's the first thing you want to do, right? So now she's sitting there, she's chilling, she's on the beach, sipping all her good flavors or good smokies. Now, you can make your seasoning however you want to. I can't tell you what I put in this. I just can't do that, because my recipe is so famous. I can't give everybody my recipe. It would be at Logan's and everywhere. But what I will tell you about my seasoning is, after I've made my seasoning, and you can make it to your choice. The last thing I do is I dash it with brown sugar. Okay, that's the last step. I will give you that in making your seasoning. After you've made your seasoning, your dry rub, just hit it with a little bit of brown sugar. And that brown sugar, what it's going to do is it's going to sweeten that brisket up. And then the way you're going to know it's done at the end, it's going to leave a caramelization across the top of it. It's going to darken it. And you won't even need a temperature gauge to know that your brisket's done, okay? I'm used to using it so much, I put too much brown sugar in there. There we go. All right, so we got our rub together. And once we get our rub together, what we're going to do is we're going to evenly coat this baby girl right here. We'll get her together. All right, so I always start from the corner with mine. I just tap her in. Yeah, baby, we're gonna coat you up today. See how I'm just laying it down on there? Oh, yeah. And you have to have a lucky spoon. This spoon has cooked every brisket that I've ever cooked, and I've cooked, golly, I can't even, thousands of briskets probably. Yeah, so we're gonna just coat this baby down, get it nice and round. Now, what I also do, which I don't know if I've got any, I hope I do. And the way I know I've made my seasoning complete is that it's down to the last drop, baby. That's how I know I've made my seasoning complete. It's a portion I've usually cooked 5 to 10 at a time, but I'm just doing one for this show today. So that's done. So now what I want to do is just rub her down, pat it mainly. Really don't want to rub it because you will rub your seasoning off. It's more of a pat type of dip where you want to do it. Okay, so we patting her down. All right, so we got her brisket. She's ready. She's patted down. She's seasoned. She's marinated. And we just did a couple more little things that we have to do. We're at Dunn's Barbecue and Catering today in Harrisburg, Kentucky. And I'm going to show you how I have won so many awards, and I have the best brisket in town, is because of that. Okay? So, now we got that seasoning down. What I want to do is, I always like to put a little green pepper and onion on top. Now, what this is going to do is, as this brisket is smoking and cooking, it's going to render. It's going to render, all that fat's going to render in there, and that's going to make an au jus for me. And we save that so that after we chill it and slice it, we pour that juice back over top of it and warm it up. And I tell you what, that way it doesn't dry out. It's amazing. So, cook it. If you don't have a full pan, you can use the full half pans. They work just as good. So you get your foil half pan, and that way, when all those seasonings and that fat and everything renders, it's going to make a real nice au jus for you, so that you can let it chill overnight. Let it set and chill real good, and then you just slice it and then pour those juices back over top of it, and then you've got a great brisket. So now we're going to take our green pepper. Just put it all over. Yeah, sprinkle me, man. Sprinkle me, man. All right, that's what I'm talking about. So we're just going to sprinkle these on here. And see, what happens is, those green peppers and onions, they're going to be part of your au jus when you get finished. Because all that's going to just cook down, it melts into your juices. And then, like I said, that'll be a good au jus for you. But I'll tell you something else you can do with that juice. You can take that juice, man, I shouldn't even be telling you all this. But, what the heck. You can take that juice and pour it in some hamburger. Oh, Lord. That could be a marinade for your steaks. You got a good, nice, smoky au jus you can use. You can marinate your steaks in it. I like to take it and put it in my hamburger when I'm making burgers on the grill. And I like to take the juice from the brisket that I've taken off after we smoked it and put that in my burger. Oh, my man. And then throw him on the grill. Man, you ain't got to do nothing else with that rascal, man. That boy is ready. So now she's ready. That's it. That's simple. See how easy that was? So now what I like to do is I'm gonna grab a piece of foil. What I do is I grab a piece of foil, put her on here. Now the smoker's outside already. She's nice and hot. I got her up to 240 degrees. I like to get her up hot first, so that when I get her in, she's already starting cooking. So you're like, done. Then you just cover that thing in foil. How you gonna get smoke on it? Bingo, I got you. Take the same knife you filleted with, the 3 on the top, you put some air vents in this chauffeur, okay? See it? That way the smoke can get down inside of there. But trust me, grill is smoky. Boom. So I do 3, 3, and 3. See it? So now I got all these air vents in there. Now guess what, guys? She's ready for the smoker. All right, you ready? All right, let's take her. Let me grab my buddy over here. Up. All right, now we're headed out to the smoker. I use a Southern Pride 500. It's kind of hard to find. Not too many people got one. You can use your smoker. I'm using cherry wood. So if you want to use cherry wood, you can use cherry wood. It's not that hard. So we're putting it on the grill. All right. We got her out here. We got our smoker. She's at 200 degrees. Watch this when I open it up. Let me flip the camera. Oh man, you see the smoke just coming out of her. And so this is the wood that I'm using right here. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of dark out here. See her? She's in there smoking good. So I'm gonna put her on. All right, and watch this. Watch how fast. Watch how fast I have this bad boy done. Watch this. Watch this. You guys are gonna be amazed. Seriously, if you could find a grill like this, oh my gosh. So I got her at 220, right? There she goes. She's starting up. She's starting up. Watch this. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Is she done? Yeah, she's done. Watch this, guys. She's done. Watch this. This is crazy. So I got her on the rotisserie. You seen that? Watch how fast I have this bad boy done. It's amazing. I'm seriously, this brisket is done. And you're like, yeah, right. How did you do that, man? Impossible. All right, so we got her off. We're pulling her off. Oh. Let's flip the camera back to me. All right. So we got her off. You see that? How fast that was? That was crazy, wasn't it? That was absolutely crazy. Yeah, she's done. She is done. You're going to be like, yeah, right. You're joking. This is, yeah. No, watch. So look. Take the foil off of her. She done got hit with all that smoke. Looky there. Ain't she pretty? So when you get your brisket, after she's done, let me show you the way you're supposed to cut it, okay? Because that's a proper technique too. So the way you want to cut her is, let's get us a pan. Put her on, all right. You're like, damn, you see all the juices inside of it that I was talking about? You see all those juices? See how she kind of got smaller? But those juices right there are what I was talking about. Those are the juices that you can use for your marinade. You could use for all types of things. But yeah, she's done, guys. She is done. I'm going to show you how you're supposed to slice it, all right? Let me get my little miniature Playboy cutting board out. All right, watch this. Ooh-wee. So you want to start from the angle here. Right? Let's see if I can get it back on the way we had it. All right, hold on. Let's put our phone back in. You're like, oh my gosh, how did he cook that brisket so fast? I'm a bad Mama Jamma Jack. We don't play around at Dunn's Barbecue and Catering. Our slogan is, it's not barbecue until it's done. That's right. All right. So let's get her up. We can get our camera. See her? There she is. All right. So then when you get ready to slice her, you want to start from that point. All right, you see that? Now here's the test. Here's the test on the brisket. This is how you know when she's ready. When you can pull her, see that? See that snap? And she comes apart. See that? That's how you know. You just barely pull it. Uh-oh. And she pops. See that in there? Tenderoni macaroni. Look at it. Tender. That's what they look for. See that? See that tenderness? You just want the pull test on it. That's the litmus test, right? So that's how you do it. You kind of want to slice her on a little angle when you get her done. Uh-oh. Always good to use a sharp knife. See her? It's just falling apart. Can't pull it too hard. But that's how you know she's good and done. That pull test. So that's how you cook a brisket with Dunn's Barbecue and Catering. Don't forget your juices. You're going to need those. They're going to be great. And stay tuned for more cooking videos with Syndicate 510s. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and share with a friend and see what else we're going to be cooking. Whole hogs, alligators, lamb. We cook a lot of stuff here at Dunn's Barbecue and Catering in Harrisburg. And if you think we're not playing, ask Al Green, William Shatner, Ruben Studdard, Smokey Robinson, and a lot of other celebrities that's had our food. Thank you for tuning in to Syndicate 510, and we'll see you again. And let's cook with Syndicate. Amen.